Watch this. In the studio with us this morning is Chloe Kimes. Chloe, how you doing? And welcome back to the area. We
Hi,
appreciate
Chris. Thanks for having us on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for being back here. Hometown native. Grew up in Scottville, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And you got your band members here as well. We want to introduce them before we get too far here. Who do you got here with you today?
Yeah, I've got Miles Berger on the upright bass here. This is Nick Larimore playing guitar this morning, and Eric Capps. It's his first time in Ludington here today.
All right, Eric, welcome to Ludington. We appreciate you coming here. Let's talk a little bit over the next couple minutes, and then everybody has an instrument here in the studio, except for me, because I can't play any instruments, Chloe, at all. It would be horrible, and everything that goes along with that. But you and the band have some instruments because not only are we going to hear some tunes from you, but we're also going to kind of get you ready for tonight, right? What's happening tonight?
Yeah, this is a great warm-up opportunity, nice and early in the morning.
Absolutely.
We're going to be at the state park this evening at the Beach House, playing our annual beach concert for the Friends of the Ludington State Park Summer Concert Series.
Okay.
So we'll be out there with a little bit of a different lineup this evening. We're going acoustic for the in-studio thing here, but we'll have a full drum kit and, pedal steel going on later.
All right. We have so much space here in the studio. It's hard to be able to do that. But who plays your drums? Okay, there we go. All right. What are you going to be playing though? Nick, right? Is it Nick or what's your first name again? Yeah. All right. What are you going to be playing this morning for us?
I got an egg shaker.
An egg shaker. I love it. All right. Looking forward to this. Chloe, we say welcome back to the area. You grew up here, but you do make it back from time to time to visit with family and friends. Your family's still here. Friends are still here. I always ask this question to you when you're in the studio, but what is it like to be back home after you're in Nashville these days, right?
Yeah, and I've been down there I've been in Tennessee for 7 years now, but it's so fun coming home. And this summer actually marks, I was kind of looking back at old events and things I've been a part of, and this is, I think, my 10th year of playing music in Ludington. Like 10 years ago, I started gigging out in town as a little youngin', so it feels cool to be up here and haven't been doing it for that long.
Well, it's good to celebrate this with you. And when you get that reach out from the Ludington State Park and say, hey, we want you part of our concert series, what does that mean to you? What does that mean?
Oh, it's a huge honor because I know that every year they work so hard and like bringing such amazing, artists in from around, outside of the area, but also supporting the people who are right here. And the fact that they continue to include me, even though I'm not, in Ludington year round, and really being here in this community all the time, to get to be considered a Mason County artist and to get to be welcomed home in this way is a huge honor. So,
well, you're always going to be a part of this community. You know that. Nashville or the Tennessee area, what's life down there like? What is now that you've been down there a good 7 years? What's been happening down there?
It's great. I'm playing music all the time these days when we're not traveling or playing original shows, doing stuff like this on the road. I work in country cover band in town, and we play all week long, working in some honky-tonks downtown Nashville. So my days are filled with music at present.
Was it everything that you imagined or expected? And if you don't mind me asking, the good and the bad, is that right? What's the best part about it? What's maybe the struggling side of it, if you don't mind?
Sure. Oh, wow. I mean, I think that I've always known that I've always wanted to be playing original music, and the goal is just to continue to create a sustainable way to travel and build an audience kind of grassroots style with the stuff that I'm writing. But working as a full-time player, playing cover gigs in downtown Nashville, I don't know if it's what I thought I would be doing necessarily. When I moved to Murfreesboro to go to college in 2016, but being able to do it now, I see it as a huge opportunity because it's been a catalyst to let me put a lot more time and effort into my artist project. So I feel like they work together really well, and I think it has made me a way stronger player and singer, and there's tons of benefits to playing in this cover band and working every day. The downside, I think, would just be that it's super exhausting. The guys I have in the studio with me here, we all do that. We all play full time, and these guys are playing multiple shifts a day and multiple bands every day of the week. So it can be a pretty exhausting kind of job, but incredibly rewarding too.
And is it pretty nice to be able to play with Chloe? And yeah, there's some so they're pleased to work with you, obviously, and be here in Ludington. And I always ask Chloe, when you bring somebody like Nick's new to Ludington, what are you introducing him to? What is that experience that you want Nick to have up here?
Well, actually, this is Nick's second time in Ludington.
Oh,
He's
Nick,
gone
okay.
before. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were. I think you were. Yeah. But so what is that? What's all right? I'll ask Nick. Actually, it's your first time, right?
My first time. Yeah.
First time. Your second time, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What about? All right, so this is veterans here. All right, Nick, come close to the mic just a little bit, or you can swing that mic over, and take us through what Ludington is. What's Ludington like when you're here?
Oh, I'm loving it. I mean, Chloe's parents have been so hospitable, and
Okay.
the scenery around here is breathtaking.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's nice to get a little bit of a break from the sweltering heat of Nashville.
It is hot down there now, isn't it? Absolutely.
Sure.
And Chloe, do you think we can get him into Lake Michigan tonight? You guys are going to be playing on the beach, obviously. Got to put some, roll up the pants and get him into Lake Michigan for a couple minutes, right?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to get into Lake Michigan. I hear it's still pretty cold.
Yeah,
but
I think it'll be nice and cool tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're up here, you gotta dip your toes in.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least.
Last question in regards to these guys. How would you describe each one of them? Do you mind going through your band members if you've been asked that before?
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm actually really excited to have Eric up here because, like I said, it's his first time, and this is our first run of shows working together on this music, and he's doing awesome because he's a super hard worker and an amazing drummer and percussionist. So
Okay.
it's really cool to have him up here. I feel really lucky to have a group of players in Nashville that I'm continuing to build upon, of just more and more people who are learning this music and willing to travel with me. And so to bring Eric into the fold is really wonderful. Thanks for being here, man.
There you go. And Eric, by the way, sorry about mixing up Nick and Eric. Nick, I got you guys now. What about Nick? What do we got? What do you say about him?
Nick is a phenomenal player. He's good at everything he touches, and I am so honored to have him up here too. He's a really busy guy, so the fact that because he plays in some amazing bands and tours the country all year long, and so for him to make time to come do shows like this with me, I don't take that for granted. And thanks, Nick.
That's pretty cool. How do you feel about what she says about you? Pretty good?
I like it.
There you go. I like that response. All right, what do you got?
Miles, this is I think he's been up to Ludington several times with me at this point, and he's been playing this music with me the longest of all these guys. And we have really kind of become musical, partners in crime because we work together in Nashville every day, playing down on Broadway, which, can be a crazy experience, a crazy job, and spending like day in and day out together. Miles is one of my very best friends, so I am always really excited to get to play music with him, no matter what songs we're playing.
Absolutely. Miles, you're kind of quiet over there. Does that feel good when Chloe talks about you like that? All right, there you go. Are these guys talkative, at least in the van on the way up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they expected to be part of the interview.
Oh, love it. No,
you guys are doing great.
Well, we're going to see all four of you on stage tonight, or on the beach, as it would be, at the Ludington State Park. The concert starts at 6 or 7? 7 o'clock,
7,
right?
yeah.
7 o'clock. Take us through what we can expect music-wise tonight. What's the set sound like?
We are going to be playing a little bit of new music. I put a record out last year, so we're still having a lot of fun playing all those songs. I've thrown in a good bit of some older music that I really don't play a ton anymore, just because as you continue to work on new stuff, and you're putting it in the set, I'm throwing in some older tunes.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. If you don't mind me asking it, from as an artist, when you are starting to write new music and you see some of your fans like, hey, can you play that older song or that classic, as it would be, or something from 5 years ago or 6 years ago?
Sure.
How do you feel as an artist when you want to break in those new songs, but the fans want to hear some of those old ones?
I mean, it's a cool problem to have,
Okay.
the fact that people want to hear this stuff. It's funny because, I think like, 5 years ago, it's a cool honor that people love my older music as much as they do, because I feel like I've just grown a ton, but getting to work it in is a lot of fun because it feels good. I think the only actual problem is sometimes, the band doesn't know it because we're not playing it a ton. And if someone's like, hey, I want to hear this song, even if I could, kind of work it up for an audience, it's not always it's not in the set list. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple songs we're going to hear from you. And what's the first one? Take us, kind of build the foundation for us, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I figured we'd play a song from my album, and this one is, in the recording process, it was already kind of an acoustic tune, so I thought it'd be great in the studio here because we don't have the drums in here with us. So this is a tune I wrote called Roasted Peppers.
Okay, Chloe Kimes right here on Hot Country Hits 99.9 and 102.7 WMOM.
1, 2, 3, 4. Tonight I roasted peppers, salted them just right. Find me in the kitchen on any lonesome night. Well, I cook when I get angry, 'cause no one's here to stop me from opening the bottle, drinking every drop. It's just Cabernet, don't worry, I ain't an alcoholic. Wouldn't it be worse if it were gin without the tonic? Well, I save that for a special kind of broken heart. You'd have to break me fully before I let that start. Let you break me fully before I let that start. Tomorrow I'll make brownies before I make my breakfast. Smoke my daily vitamin and try to just accept it, that I ought to put my phone away, 'cause you're not gonna call. I'm wasting all my battery checking on your wall for an update on your whereabouts. I don't need to know. Driving me crazy with all your lack of show. I could tell myself a lie like we were meant to be apart. You'd have to break me fully before I let that start. Let you break me fully before I let that start. When it finally hits me, you're not gonna try. Well, I guess I'll finally let myself hang my head and cry. Well, I'll try to keep it private, try to keep it short, but I tried to keep you too, and I did nothing of that sort. So when I come sick and sobbing, giving you a fright, remember it's just thunder that keeps me up at night. Well, I'll never ever tell you just how you broke my heart. You'd have to break me fully before I let that start. Let you break me fully before I let that start.
Wow. Chloe Kimes there. Thanks, Chloe, for that one.
Yeah.
What was the kind of the foundation or the background on that particular song, if you don't mind?
Sure. I think that was like a winter evening, and I was sitting in my apartment alone, and I think I got pretty upset about something, and I was making dinner, and it was all very like, not often do I just kind of sit down and write a song about what's exactly going on in the moment, but that is one of those tunes. So I kind of just like took a break from whatever I was doing in the kitchen, and I think I truly did have venison stuffed bell peppers in my oven. And I sat down and I was like, kind of
Absolutely.
surly, and I wrote that song in a matter of a couple hours.
Wow, very cool. And speaking of a couple hours, is that kind of the natural progression when it comes to songwriting, or have you been working on something for months? What is that like when you're writing your own songs?
That is not at all my natural go-to. I usually take a very long time. I've got a ton of new music I'm working on right now, and all of them, are like either half finished or I can't quite. I usually take a pretty long time to mull stuff over, for better or for worse. Sometimes they kind of pop out really quickly every once in a while, but the majority of the stuff I'm working on right now, I've been working on for a little while. And I'm not quite ready to share.
No, that's okay. And it really is truly when you feel like that song is perfect, right? For you, even though you might kind of share it with others, your band members and such, it really has to you have to feel like you're 100% on that, right?
Yeah, I individually am certainly that way. And, sharing it with people is one thing, but getting it to a level where like the whole band feels really good about the arrangement we've decided on and we're ready to put it out to an audience, that can be an added time as well. Absolutely.
If you're just joining us, we're with Chloe Kimes. Is it Chloe Kimes and your band, or what's the extension there?
A lot of people throw that tag on when I book shows, but I'm just trying to go for Chloe Kimes.
Okay.
I would like Chloe Kimes to be synonymous with this experience.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I bring a full band, and if I'm playing a solo show, I usually would let people know, and so you know to expect that. But I'm really trying to build up, this kind of band outfit.
Your brand, absolutely.
Chloe Kimes.
There you go. Chloe's, we're going to hear another song in just a moment, right? You've got
Sure,
one more?
yeah.
Okay. Chloe's playing at the Ludington State Park tonight, 7 o'clock, right on the beach, which is kind of cool. What kind of experience do you think that'll be tonight?
Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but it seems like the weather is going to be really nice this evening, and I feel so lucky that we've had some really gorgeous weather the last few times we've been up here. It was an amazing crowd last summer, and so I'm just really... It's so much fun to just kind of watch people filter in, and people that I haven't seen in a long time, or, there's definitely a group of people that I only see at this show, for the last, several years, but definitely bring a lawn chair, and we're going to have instrumental music and sound there, doing all the live sounds, so they're bringing all the mics and, PA and everything, so everyone in the back can hear it good, and because it's kind of tricky to get good sound out there in the open air of the lake,
Absolutely, and it's kind of nice not to have to travel too much with a lot of that extra equipment too, right?
Right, we really just don't have the room for it at this point. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming in. Let's build the foundation for this next song. What are you going to play for us?
This is a country tune. This is another one from my record. It's been a while. This one I wrote a little while ago, I think somewhere in the early days of the pandemic, when I was, also alone in my apartment, I think, and just, thinking about all the stuff that was going on. This is really more, it's more of a little bit of a heartbreak tune. So, I think I wrote it after my pre-COVID relationship ended.
Okay, and what's this song called?
No Cigar.
All right, Chloe Kimes on 102.7 WMOM and Hot Country Hits 99.9.
There's a peace in the quiet company of myself. More time on my hands, more room on my shelf. Well, I'm keeping a healthy diet, and I've cleaned up every room. had no reason to stop. Well, I always had a good one, but no cigar. I came close, still too far. If this makes its way to you, maybe somewhere in your dressing room, I hope you know I'm not angry anymore. Baby, if I had a time machine, no, I wouldn't trade a single thing. I'll still buy all your records from the record store. And there's no time like the present for looking to the past. Living in the wonder, was it this, was it that? Well, I'm working through the phases, I won't lie, you made it tough for me to wrestle and remember any reason I'm enough. Well, I tried to give you a good one, but no cigar. I came close, still too far. Oh, I came close, still too far.
I love it. Chloe Kimes right here. Oh, wow. How do you feel when you sing your music? What is it like?
Oh, man, it feels really comfortable. It feels like probably my favorite place to be. Does that, I feel like that might be the only way I know how to answer that.
Yeah, no, that it says a lot for sure.
Yeah.
So you are going to be playing tonight, 7 o'clock, Ludington State Park. Want to make sure that people get there early, bring their lawn chairs, their blankets, kind of that environment we're expecting tonight.
Yeah.
Friends of Ludington State Park inviting you in for this event. How long is the set tonight? How long will that be?
We're definitely going to play over an hour.
Okay.
You know, I've got a lot of music ready. You know, probably like an hour and 15. I think that's usually what we do. You know, maybe a little longer.
All right.
Kind of depending on if the crowd enjoys it.
Absolutely. And then what's next for you? What's the future look like?
We are moving through Michigan this week. We're in Ludington tonight. We're going over to play a little festival for 20 Front Street in Lake Orion tomorrow. And Thursday, we're going to be in Kalamazoo at Bell's Eccentric Cafe, which I'm very excited about that show as well. We'll be up north Friday and Saturday at Lake Ann Brewing Company, which is such a fun spot. They've got this great beer garden, and we played up there last summer and had so much fun that they're bringing us back for 2 nights this week, and we'll be up north for the weekend and then making our way back down to Nashville. We'll be playing in Ohio and Indiana, and then back home.
So a pretty busy schedule, which is good.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. 2 more questions before we wrap up, and I appreciate you hanging out here in the studio with us. You know, you're in the Tennessee area, but you're traveling around. Anybody that you've run into, and I think I've asked this question to you before, but anybody that's been that famous person that's like, you know, you just stop in that moment for Chloe Kimes?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't seen any like majorly famous, you know, household names around town, at least in my recent memory. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Have we seen anyone crazy in town lately at a gig,
Yeah.
Miles? I don't know. I don't think so.
Except for Chloe Kimes. All right, there you go.
Yeah, there's a ton of you know, local musicians,
Yeah.
like Nashville-based working players and artists who.
And that keeps everything going, doesn't it? I mean, you have your national acts, but isn't it there's a whole different scene when it comes to the local, right?
Yeah, that's really what Nashville's made up of. Is the people who live there and work there and are taking gigs every day when they're not traveling and getting to do their artist careers, and then all just the players who play in, you know, a ton of different bands. Like these guys, they're just really, it's just filled with incredible players, and they're all over. And so it's not so much like, oh, wow, I saw this famous person. You know, I get more starstruck by the local people who are really working and grinding, and you know,
Absolutely.
you see them around when they're not on the road, and it's like, oh man, I saw so and so down at the local bar, the neighborhood hang, and that's honestly a much cooler thing in my opinion than like, I can't say I've run into Garth Brooks on the sidewalks of Broadway.
Yeah, absolutely. But you brought up a very good point. It is those that are sweating and the pain and the struggle and everything else that goes on there, and probably much more enjoyable too. Right?
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
Yeah.
Last question. That message to the community. You're back in the Ludington area. What's it like? What's that message, if you don't mind?
Sure. I would just say, from the bottom of my heart, this year and every year past and moving forward, I have so much gratitude for this community. The last 10 years, they've really been wrapping arms around me, and the people who go out to local music in this community are so passionate and supportive, and they show up every year. And to get to see them around town, at the holidays when I'm not playing music, or to know that there's going to be familiar faces at the beach each summer is pretty amazing, an amazing thing for someone like me, who just is working on this dream, to have a community like this.
Absolutely.
It's just no real words to say how thankful I am. Yeah.
You just said it, so that's a good thing. Last thing for you to do, reintroduce your band as we wrap up. We'll be seeing you and them tonight at the Ludington State Park, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we've got Eric Capps on the drums this evening and playing the shaker here in studio today. Nick Larimore, he's playing pedal steel tonight. He's got the acoustic in his hands, and this is Miles Berger on the upright bass. Might catch a little harmonica from him tonight, too. He's an amazing harmonica player.
All right. Sounds great. Chloe, we appreciate you coming in. Welcome back to the community. Even if it's just one night, we appreciate you stopping in here at the radio station, and you're always welcome back here, okay?
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Stand by for 1 second as we hit back to the music coming up next on 102.7 WMOM.
Looking for a fun and exciting weekend of bowling in the flashing lights and listening to your favorite music? Head to Spartan West with your friends and family and bowl the night away while enjoying delicious food as well. Spartan West has Cosmic Bowling every Friday and Saturday from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Reservations are required. Did you know Beamer's Restaurant is located inside Spartan West Bowling Center? Beamer's Restaurant has Mason County's best fish fry on Friday.